I hope you're all keeping well. Thank you so much for joining me again. It is a very cold one at the plot today. It's about, I think my car said it was like -3, which is probably the coldest I've known the UK for a very long time. Probably needed because it's been what has felt like the mildest winter so far. So the last like week or so, actually just the last like few days, the weather has and temperature has definitely dropped. So yeah, we are wrapped up like Michelin man today. um it's very difficult to move, but at least I am warm. It's the most glorious day as well. You can probably see the sunshine is so lovely. It is absolutely stunning, and there's like a little bit of like frost on everything. It is just absolutely beautiful. I'm really learning to love winter. Not usually my type of season, but when you learn to like live with nature and just live with it, you kind of start to realize that everything has got its purpose. Every timing has a reason. So yeah, it's just nice to be back here. I've taken the day off work today because we are due quite a lot of rain, I think. So I thought, let's get in one more day of all the little odd jobs. I don't know how much we're going to be able to get done because the ground is frozen. So if it wasn't hard enough to dig before, it's definitely going to be hard today. So we'll see what we can do. But I just couldn't miss this opportunity to be at the allotment with the sun beaming down. So on today's agenda, I've got one of the beds to fill. The kind of like kitchen garden is really coming along. I'm so pleased with how it's looking. I just need to fill one of the beds up with the compost with the big load that I had bought in. Hopefully it's not frozen. I don't think it is. I think it should be okay because it's surrounded with the bag. So fingers crossed. And then I'm also going to try and fill up as much of the bed that I'm currently sat on with as much as I possibly can of the waste material. I hate saying waste material. But things that would just go into the compost. So yeah, that's going to be done. I need to trim down the bay tree, but I need to double check whether that's best to leave until spring. I'm slightly worried that the wet weather may damage it if I cut it down too much, but we'll see. I'll have a little think about that one. But yeah, today it's all just about enjoying myself, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. There isn't really that much to do, but we're going to enjoy it. One thing I do want to show you, though, is my myrtle tree. I am falling in love with this tree every day, more and more. I absolutely love it. It just gets more and more beautiful as the seasons go on, and there are so many berries on it. I'll take you around. So hopefully you can see it okay, because it is just stunning. It's got very, very big, so it probably does need a bit of a prune, and there is holly growing up through the middle of it, which I'm going to try and keep because that'd be really nice for some wreath making next year. But it is just so pretty, and there's loads of berries on them, which I'm wondering what we can do with. It's probably too far gone in the season now to actually use them, but I'm wondering if I can use them for some dye, for some fabric. So I may take a couple with me today and just see how they get on. But yeah, I'll pop in some close-up clips. But yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to keep this here. Obviously, I'm not going to attempt to move it. But yeah, I just really wanted to show you it because if anyone knows anything about myrtle trees, please do let me know of what they can be used for. Because I just really want to make the most of it. It's gorgeous. Right, first on my list is to fill this bed. And I did panic because I thought maybe it was too frozen, but actually it's not too bad. It's just the top layer that's a little bit frozen, but once you get underneath it, it's fine. Probably going to be quite a few trips, but maybe 4 trips. Should be fine. My goodness, that took so much longer than it needed to. The edges of the compost in the bag are absolutely frozen, so I've had to take everything from the middle. I've managed to get more than I thought I would. Obviously still not enough, but this has been pushed down. I just kind of trodden it. Another thing for this year is to sort my camera situation out. Sorry, I ran out of memory and I'm not quite sure where we're up to. So yeah, I was just saying loads of people seem to they say not to put your, they need loads of room and stuff next to each other with tulips and bulbs and things like that, and I'm assuming it's just because the bulbs start to swell. So but I've seen loads of people put theirs in pots and really close together, like almost like just chuck them all in like that, and they seem to be fine. So I am just going to absolutely go for it. Excuse the state of my hands, by the way. I don't know where my gloves are, which might mean I just need to buy a new pair. But I thought, now that it's slowed down a little bit, of not lugging everything into the wheelbarrow, thought I started to cool down quite a bit, and as you can see, the sun has gone in, so it's time to cool down. So I thought perfect time to grab some soup, nice hot soup, and I thought it'd be a really good time to just kind of roughly go over what the plans are for this year and the kind of the growing space. There's nothing too crazy at the moment because my new year starts in equinox. I have done that for the last 3 or 4 years and it's just started working really well for me. So yeah, ever since I kind of reconnected with nature, that's like quite a big one actually. But the new year, I still find, I don't know if it's because I've done it for such a long time, but there's definitely still a shift at New Year. Well, January 1st, let's say. But I do like to use it as just a time to kind of like shift, start thinking about things, just re-evaluating, reconnecting, reflecting, and just using it as a time to have a little think about how I want things to go, what I didn't like about next year, so that when my new year starts, it's not a really harsh stop and start and reset and things. So yeah, I thought now'd be a really nice time just to kind of go through what things are going to look like this year. And one of the main focuses is going to be my health, because for such a long time I've just felt unwell. Like a lot of the time I have spouts where I feel really good, and I get this big old bit of energy, and then it kind of just goes again, and I just feel lethargic and not 100%, and just my body feels weak and things. And so I just really need to take control of that, and I think the plot is going to really benefit me with that. So yeah, specifically this year is going to be about my health, and one of the big bits I see all the robins coming down. Oh, just searching for those last little scraps. They're looking pretty big, which is always good. But yeah, sorry, I'm always always so distracted by the wildlife here and the noises and things. But yeah, so big one for me is going to be my health, and with that, the plot. What I'm thinking about doing is the space where we've been working today, where the beds are, where I'm sat, is very much going to be an area that she's going to look after itself. Things that don't need a lot of work doing to them. It's kind of just going to be like a space where I plant things in, leave them for half of the year. So like I said, when the onions and the tulips will finish, the pumpkins will be going in there, and they'll be kind of in there till October, November. And then the bulbs can go back in again. So that'll be a really nice spot. And then in front of that will be like the roses and just things like that, really, where they just need a really small amount of work. And then what the other side is going to be is where I'm going to grow a lot of just like the constant produce. And I think the best way for it to work this year is to grow smaller amounts, like smaller varieties, but larger quantities of things. So kind of have it on a constant rotation where I'm going to choose just a handful of produce that need kind of work in and things, and just keep consecutively sowing them, so I've constantly got things for them, or like things to eat, without overwhelming myself, and I can stick to not having to remember to bring loads of things with me. I don't have a lot of storage here, especially for things like seeds and bulbs, bulbs, like trays and things. Obviously the greenhouse will, but I need to use that as well for tomatoes, so I can't use the whole thing for stadium. But I did pick up Gaz Oakley's book. I think it's called Plant to Play. I'll link it below. But I really need to focus on cooking this year. I don't really like to cook. So, well, it's not that I don't really like to cook. I just become very overwhelmed with cooking. And with that, obviously, then becomes quick, easy meals, which aren't always very nutritious because I don't know where to start. And a lot of things are obviously processed and things. But yeah, going back to the book, it's a gorgeous book as well, by the way. If you love to have a book on show in your home, definitely grab it. It is stunning, but also it feels so thought out with, especially when it comes to cooking. I have bought so many cooking books where there is a different produce on every page, and it's so hard to figure out if you've got carrots, say, trying to find a book where you can say, I know what I'm going to choose. I need to find a recipe that has carrots in it. It is so hard to find a book like that. But yeah, Plant to Play is such a lovely one because it's broken up into produce. So there's a whole section for one produce, and then like I think there is one for carrots. I think there's one for beetroot as well, which both really a lot of my favorite produce, which I'll be growing. They'll be on the short list for this year. So yeah, I hope I'm not rambling, by the way. I feel like I am. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. But yeah, so this year it's going to be very much about picking favorites and just constantly sowing them every couple of weeks, and just really getting back to basics of putting good produce into my body, and hopefully that will then give me the energy to want to work out. And I really love working out, and we've got big plans for running this year. I really want to get back into my running. If you know, I did an ultra marathon last year, and I have another one planned for this year. So I really need to make sure that I'm on top form because I'm going for a time as well this year, which I didn't do last year. I just wanted to finish it in the time that they give you. So, but I really want to really go for it this year. I really miss running, especially long distance, a trail run as well. So I kind of just want to make sure that, especially when we go and visit places, I want to get back to Wales this year and up to the Peak District where my sister lives, to the Lake District, just really embrace nature this year. And yeah, nutrition is going to be such a big one, which the plot is just going to have everything to do with. So yeah, that I probably made that sound so much more complicated than it needed to be, but yeah, this just kind of thinking off the top of my head, there are no master plans for this year. It is just going to be back to basics of growing great produce, and then just enjoying being here, not overwhelming myself with loads of work to be done, and um, just really enjoying my time here and being outside. So, yeah, they are the plans for 2026. So, yeah, there'll be probably some bigger things around springtime, but yeah, for now, we're just going to focus on back to basics, simple growing and gardening. One of my favorite books as well for that and for kind of like planning and things is Hugh's. I can't think of what it's called. Hugh Richards. I want to say it's like The Vegetable Garden. I'll link it below as well. But yeah, that has been almost like my Bible um, ever since growing, of when to grow things, like little tips and tricks. And yeah, it's just like a really great book. So yeah, they are kind of the plans for this year. Okay, I got a little bit carried away with reading my book, and we're running out of time. But I don't know if you see, it has started to snow as well. It's so lovely, it's so pretty. But just quickly before I leave, I've just put the grid up along the back, and I do think it's going to look so lovely, especially when I've got all like the sweet peas and things growing up here. I think it's going to look really, really cool. So that will be for next time. I'm going to get the things wrapped around it, the wood edging around it. Oh, the snow is really coming down now. I don't know if you can see. Um, but this is what I was talking about when I was talking about plans for this year. This will all be the side where everything's going to be workable. So it's not very level, but doesn't really matter. I'm not too worried about it. I just need to put a lot of cardboard down, give it a good, I think I'm just going to buy a roll of the cardboard. I think it'd just be easier. And rather than having to wait every time, it would just be the best thing to do it. So what I'll do is I'll get another big bag of the compost that I've used to fill one of those. A big bag of wood chip, because the wood chip's going to go along here. A big bit of cardboard. We're just going to roll it all out, put a nice layer of compost over the top, and then also what I can do is, once I've kind of start putting things into place, I'll just use whatever is rest of the wood from the rest of the wood chip to just create paths as and when I need them, and just do. I think it's just going to be a lot easier to do it that way, and then I can just kind of move the wood chip as and when I need to, um, and just do it that way. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. This will all be roses or cut flowers or things like that. But yeah, that is the plan. Fingers crossed. Like I said, nothing too crazy, nothing too extreme for this year. It's all going to be very simple, basic, um, growing. I think I'm going to go with no dig as well, try and save my back. Obviously, dig where we need to, but to get things like the roses and things into the ground. But other than that, we're going to stick with no dig, just try and make it a little bit easier with life. I've always had a good good run when I've used no dig in the past, so we're just going to stick with it, I think. But I think that is going to be it for today, because the snow is really starting to come down now and I need to get home. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the snow if you've got it. Hopefully it's not too much of a bother for you, but yeah, I'm feeling really, really positive and hopeful for the allotment this year. So yeah, it'd be really, really lovely to get back into the swing of things. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.